What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make 3D lobbies like this one. Wow, pretty cool, huh? Wouldn't hurt you to click subscribe. A lot of you guys have been asking for this in the comments, and I think you're going to be surprised on how easy it actually is. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. For today's video, we're going to be using Unreal Engine 5 and Photoshop. And I want to say that right away since Photoshop isn't free. But with that said, the only thing I need to do in Photoshop is cut out one part of an image. So you should be able to do that in any free alternatives. I personally don't know any free alternatives because I've just had Photoshop that long. So to start us off, let's hop in Unreal and worry about Photoshop second. Today, we're going to be using Unreal 5.6.1. We talked about this in my last video, so I'll be kind of just going through it real quick. But 5.6.1 is the version we're going to be using here. And what you're going to do is you can click launch up here or launch here. If you don't know, Unreal is free through Epic Games Launchers. Download Epic Games Launcher, download Unreal. It'll ask you to pick a version. 5.6.1 is the one you want, right? Once you do that, you're going to be at this browser screen after you click launch, and you're going to get these tabs on the side. You probably don't have any reasons unless you've used it before. Go ahead and click games and then click on blank for me. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Don't worry about the project defaults. We're going to leave it exactly where it is and just name this. So I'm going to name this desk scene for me. And this is where it'll be saved. That's where I save all my Unreal projects and click create. If this is your first time loading it, I'm sure you already noticed in the first load screen, it does take a second, but I promise you after you do it a couple times, it starts to get faster and faster. All right, once you load into Unreal, this is what you're going to see, or some version of this. This is just my preferred workspace, but all your major things are there. Outliner, your outliner is probably over here on the right side, and this dock is probably not here. It's probably hidden. Hit Control Space to bring it up and down. If you want it on your screen the whole time, click right there. To move in the viewport, it's going to be WASD while holding down a right click, and to look around, you just hold down right click. To go up and down, it's Q and E, and that's all I'm going to cover for the basics. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the Epic Games Store real quick. Once you have the Epic Games Launcher, you're going to access the Fab Store by the left-hand menu here where it just says Fab. I'll make mine big so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And from there, you're going to go on this left-sided menu here, it's 3D, and we're going to click on environments. Now, these are all going to be paid environments. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to pay for one. You're welcome to pay for one. You can search by price, but I'm just going to go free products. And you're going to scroll through these and find one you want to use. Remember, you're going to decide what can be seen through the lens camera, and you'll get an idea what I mean once you see how I do this. So let's go ahead and scroll down whichever one you want. I went ahead and found one off camera just to speed up the video here. So we're going to be using this scene right here. I looked around, I was like, this looks like it could work pretty well for what we're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click add to project right down here, and it's going to ask you what you want to add it to. Now, this is not compatible with 5.6, as you can see, but that's all right. What we're going to do is we're going to click show all projects, and we're going to scroll down to our project right here, scene desk, and we're going to click the latest version 5.4 and click add to project. And that's simply going to download and put it inside your project for you. Once downloaded, you're going to get a new folder right here. Yours could say anything. This one is just named clinic. So that's what it is. Go ahead and open that. And you're looking for a folder called maps or levels. They're interchangeable inside Unreal. So we're going to click on the maps folder, and different levels, like this is a level, are going to be orange, and they're going to say level at the bottom. We don't want the overview. That's just going to be a list of every single item that could be used from this pack. We're going to click on the clinic itself, which should be like a demo type situation. And that's exactly what it is. So this is where you start to get your creative freedom, right? So if you wanted your guy sitting on the couch, you could shoot it from right here and you'd be sitting on the couch, or there's a whole other room over here. He could be in this lab for some reason. But for this purposes, we're going to use this desk right here because I was like, that works perfect for what we're trying to create. So I actually like this a lot, and I don't want to ruin this. So what I'm going to do now with the clinic opened, I don't have to click that. I'm just opened it. I already have it opened. You can see right there. I'm going to go to file. I'm going to say save current level as, and I'm going to be able to go to the content, and I don't have a maps folder myself like I should, but that's okay. We're just going to name this desk scene. All right. And now we're going to click save. And now if you see up here, we're operating in desk scene. So anything we destroy won't destroy the original. We can go back and get new things or reset if we need to, if we move too many things. So for me, the reason I like this was this background. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about this. I didn't make it, right? So I started clicking, and right away I can tell it's one giant object, not three separate objects next to each other. So I was like, well, let's see what we're getting into. So if I right click this and I click edit SM entrance, SM is skeletal mesh. They're almost always labeled that way because anyone who uses SM uses that kind of nomenclature. So real quick side tangent, I don't like when things open like this, and for some reason it's the default for Unreal. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it right here, and I always like mine to open in tabs. So in order for that to happen, I'm going to go to edit, we're going to go to editor preferences, right here it says appearance, under appearance, see where it says default under asset editor open location, change this down to last window docked or main menu. And what that'll do is it'll have it set it up here every single time in a new tab, which I definitely prefer. All right, so with this selected here, we can go in here, and as you can see, there's going to be two different materials on here, right? So my thought was, well, what are these, right? So if I just change this, what does it change? And it's going to change all the screens, which is exactly what I wanted to see, because that tells me I can change all those screens very easily. Okay, so perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control Space right here to bring up our content browser, and right click in here anywhere you want, and you're going to get this, right? And we're going to make a material. Materials are M underscore whatever the name you want. So mine's going to be green screen, M underscore green screen. And now we have a blank material there. Double click to open that. It tabbed it for us because we just set that up, which is perfect. And don't worry, this isn't going to be complex. Ignore 90% of this. All we're going to do is right here where it says base color, that little square, click on that for me and drag it to the green you would like. So for me, I don't know, what's a green screen? Something like that. That might be a little too bright. Somewhere probably right around there. It's probably a green screen. And you can see it change, but you see how it's kind of like too shiny? That's because this roughness needs to come up. So we're just going to make this a 1, and that really takes care of it. And we'll set this down to 0. Oops. Down to 0 there. And now that's pretty much the green screen color we're looking for, right? So go ahead and click save right here. Now we're going to go back to this, our SM. We didn't close it. It's just a different tab, right? Right here. And right here under that material we changed, we're going to search M underscore green screen. And there it is, right? So when we click apply, boom. We have 3 green screens lined up. The reason we want 3 green screens later in OBS, it allows us to put whatever we want in there. And that's what I'm looking for. So perfect. Now we're going to come back. We're going to save this. Cool. And we're going to come back here and look at that. Automatically it updates. And now we have 3 green screens. So originally I was going to make videos for you guys from right here and you could see how it worked. But I actually think I'm going to adjust a little bit and I'm going to come from an angle just to show you some of the possibilities. So like this doesn't look animated, right? Like, well, it's kind of boring. Everything's sitting still, but that's animated. So let's drag this giant thing in, right? I don't know how many pieces it has to it, but it's got a lot of pieces. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just shift clicking on them all. That world's its own piece. So now, is that all of them? Let's see. Now I'm going to click and drag and see if it moves. It does. Okay. So just shift click them like you would in any program and you can move it around. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it back into that corner over there if I can here without messing a bunch of things up, right? So somewhere right around there. How's that look? Say we're at this angle. And I think that'll add a nice little flare because now it's animated. Now there's one thing I want to adjust, and that's the fact that it's covering the green screen. So instead of moving that, I'm just going to adjust myself. No, I am going to end up moving it a little bit more. So to do that, I'm just going to go back because I don't want to have to reselect it. There we go. And now I can just slide it like this. Okay, and we can go like that. And the reason I'm doing that is no one's going to notice this part too much. Everybody's going to probably notice this part down here if it's not on the floor. So now that looks all right to me. I think that'll work. And if yeah, that's good enough for an example video, right? A couple things here. There's only 1 of me, not 3 of me. So I'm going to delete these 2 extra chairs here. I don't want this keyboard. I'll delete that as well. I'm going to take this chair. I'm going to make it a little bigger, actually. All right, like that. We're going to slide you down a little bit. And we're going to turn it just so it's like that facing me. Now, you might be like, how's he doing this so fast? W gives you the ability to move, brings this gizmo up to move things. E makes it so you can rotate, and R makes it so you can scale things up, just so you guys know. I cover that in a different video if you guys want to do more in-depth on that stuff. So cool, I'm okay with this. And honestly, that's kind of the hard part. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to the content drawer here for everything we own is kind of in one area. And down here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to take level sequence. Name this anything you want. I'm going to name mine desk scene. Okay. So once you make this, go ahead and double click to open it up. This down here is going to be like a timeline you find in any video editing software from like Premiere Pro, After Effects, I don't know, Final Cut. They all kind of have a timeline like this, right? Play around with it if you want, but we don't got to get too lost in it because this is a very easy situation we got ourselves in. So what we're going to do is this is about where I want to be, right? So with the sequence here, we're going to come up to this cube with the plus sign. It's just an add button. Click on that, go down to cinematics and click on send camera actor and click that. Immediately to put it in your screen, you'll get it right here and you'll get this little show underneath my head. I'll show you in a second. But first, I want to rename this F2 to highlight, open it up like that to cam 1. That way, if I lose it, I can find it pretty easily, right? Let me move my head out of the way so you guys can see what's going on. There we go. Okay. So when I click on cam 1, which see, I lost it already. I don't see it anymore. It's obviously in my screen, but I can just go like this and it'll show like this, but it's right there as well, right? This right here is a demo of what cam 1's looking at. And I can sit here and I can try to get it right if I want to, but we're not going to take the time to do that. What we're going to do, let me pull it in the scene more, is when we grab this and pull it into the sequencer, our main scene here is going to snap views to the view you see the little preview of. Ready? Boom. And what we're doing now is when we move around, this is me controlling that camera. So wherever I go, I'm moving that camera, right? So Let's try to get it set somewhere right around here. Now, if I was doing this for me for real, I probably would want it a little tighter so I'm not so small as the main entertainment thing. But in the interest of showing you guys what we're doing, I'm just gonna use the wide view, right? So we're gonna go camera one, make sure it's highlighted. I know my head's in the way. Let me slide it again. You can tell it's highlighted because it says camo run right here, and that's what we're working, right? And this details tab, again, we covered in a different video. What we're gonna do over here is we're going to change the lens setting, essentially is all we're going to do. So like maybe we want a wide lens for this, right? Like this is pretty wide. And from here with this wide lens, we can see all three of these screens and probably about right there. I actually don't like how fast I'm moving currently. So I'm going to slow this way down, camera speed down. Okay. So now when I go down, I'm not going down by as much, right? It's okay. So I actually think I like it about right there, maybe as far as, yeah, I think that'll work right there. This is cut off a little bit, but I think this is going to work pretty well for us. So this is what I want, right? That's all I need to do. Now, I want to note a couple things. See this little blue dot or blue square right here? If I'm like, cool, I really like this, and now I go to move around, as long as this is highlighted, I'm moving that camera, so I'm ruining my shot. You must uncheck this before you move around again, right? So like, let's say, sorry, I'm going super slow because I turned this down. Let's turn it back up a little bit for this to get the conversation. Okay, so let's say I'm going over here, and I was like, oh, I want to go back into that camera. You just click on this again, and it snaps you right back there, right? But if I move right now, I move the camera, and the way you can tell is up here under my head for the 1,000th time. You can see it says camera one versus perspective. All right, so boom. Now we're back on the perspective camera, which we can move all around. And there's our camera one right over there, right? Okay, cool. Let me move my head back up out of the way again. Okay, so this is the shot we want. Everything looks good. Now, the first thing I need you guys to do once we have it good is 165 frames is plenty of frames for this because it's going to loop, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to go to plugins and we're going to type in, what is it? Video render? No, media render. Media render. Movie render. That's what we're looking for. Movie render. Okay, type in movie render. You're going to click this and it's going to ask you to restart, and I will see you after the restart. All right. Once you restart, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be back in this level because we never set some settings correctly, but it doesn't matter. Just come down to wherever you saved your level at. Mine, Destiny, is right here. Double click it, and you're gonna be right back where you were. You didn't lose anything or anything of that nature. I'm very curious. Let's go click open my scene here, and you see it snap that camera back out of the way. Now, if I click this, boom, everything's back. So again, you're gonna double click this, then double click this, and everything snaps to back to where you had it. This is what I wanted right here. This is gonna be my scene. The reason we downloaded that queue is for a better rendered experience. Okay, so now up here in the corner, see it says quick render options. This is what we had by default. This is what the plugin we just added. So let's click on this plugin right here. And now once we click on that was from the three dots, by the way. Now you're going to click here and you're going to render. And what do you want to render? You want to render your, I can name it a desk scene. I thought I named it desk scene this whole time, but we're not going to change it. We've committed. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go to saving our settings. We don't want it to be a JPEG. So we're going to come up here to settings and we're going to change that to an MP4. H.264 MP4 right there, and that's totally fine. And then it's going to say like, do you want to do anything else crazy here? I'm cool with 1080p. I'm cool with all these settings. If you're like, no man, I really want some crazy high definition thing, we're not covering that in this video, but it is going to be in here under like high res and like anti-alias. Like if I do anti-alias and like, I don't know, let's just make this 16 and we come to advanced, we make this 32 and this 32, right? It's going to say, well, this is because, don't worry, but if this shows up, you just click override and it'll go away, right? But we're not covering all that today, okay? Final thing I want to do, actually the most important thing I forgot to tell you about is right here under output is where it's going to be saved at. Hands down the most important thing, right? So go ahead and click on this and save it wherever you want to save it at. For me, I'm going to put it, I'll put it in my recordings thing here. And let's just go like this. Let's just name this desk, not deck this time, scene. All right, we're gonna make desk scene and we're gonna open that up and we're gonna click save right there and we're just gonna accept. And when you click render, it's gonna take a few minutes and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, my render just finished. So we're gonna go here and check on it. Don't worry about any of that. That's for me making sure I can make this video. And then we're gonna go in here and we're gonna come in here and sure enough, here it is. Looks good to me. If you wanna adjust lighting and stuff like that, you definitely can do all that. Like there's a light right here. And again, you're gonna, actually this other way, you can come in here and like change like intensity, like now it's brighter, you can adjust all these, just play with them and see what each one does. That's on your own time. But yeah, so okay, we got that part done. We're cool with all that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get a still shot of this because we need a still shot of this. And honestly, the easiest way I found to do that is just come up here, go to configure. We're gonna turn JPEG back on, and we're gonna turn this off, right? Okay, and then we're gonna be like, yeah, I want it in the same scene, and just click accept again. But this time, watch, I'm gonna let it render for a second. It's going to render, and I'm just going to cancel it because I only need one still shot and the camera's not moving. So they're all the same, right? So perfect. That's all I need. Again, let's double check that it's there. It gave me 3 of them. I only needed 1. So let's just delete 2 real quick. And that is all I'm going to need. So we are actually done with Unreal at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and close it down. Close that down in Real. And now I'm going to open Photoshop for you guys. Again, if you don't own Photoshop, I'm sure there's alternatives that can cut a part of an image out. I'm sorry, I just don't know what they are because I use Photoshop and I love Adobe products, although the prices are getting astronomical. But yeah, when this gets loaded, I'll see you guys. I was originally just going to start from inside Photoshop, but this actually matters. We want this to be a 1920 by 1080p because that is the size of our render out and everything. We set that all back there. You can see it in the render queue options, right? So we're going to do that, and we want it on a transparent background, and we're just going to click create here. Let's make this nice and big, and from here we're going to go file, embed, and then place embed. We are going to place none of that. We're going to, oh no, falling apart, boys. This, then we're going to go here, then we're going to go here. Okay, cool. This is the one we want, and perfect. That's exactly the scene we made, and that's what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see what we got going on here. And for me, I am going to cut this desk out. You can do it however you want. I like to use this tool right here. It's called the quick select tool. And then to adjust the size of it, you're going to hold down Alt and right click and drag around. All right, so you can see me do that. I don't know if that matters, but in case somebody asks, that's how you do that. And I'm just going to come over here and I'm just going to click and drag around the area I want, right? So a couple things, I don't want that. In order to minus drag like I'm doing right now, you hold down Alt in case you're new to this. I wish that line was a little cleaner because that is actually the most important spot. The rest of it, not so important, but that spot is. So I'll try to take a little time right there. And then another big thing is I don't want any green screen in it. That's for sure. So I'm going to pull that down right there. Again, none of this part needs to be perfect because my character won't go over there, but it will be right here. So I'm a little disappointed that this is going to give me a hard time. And if I was doing this more precisely, I could just go in here and click on like a pen tool and make it another way. But I'm not going to be that precise about it. It's not that deep right now. So I think that'll probably work for what we're doing here. I don't want to do that. That's for sure. I would just like to add that piece to the desk, although we don't need it. My OCD just needs it in there. Okay, yeah, that should actually be perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to click cut. Turn this off, and the reason I do that is see how it's like smudgy, which is fine. I don't care that it's smudgy. We're gonna hit E, and all I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna clean this up a little bit. I know what you're thinking, how are you gonna get away with this? I'll show you how I'm gonna get away with this on the other side. The only part I'm not gonna clean up is right where I'm gonna be sitting at, and the reason I'm not gonna clean that part up is because then I'll be in the desk further, right? So that will work just like that. Okay, so you can do it neater if you want. I'm just in a hurry for the sake of the video, so we're gonna go quick export. Where do you want it to be at? YouTube. No, actually we're gonna go inside this one, but it's the same thing. We're doing the same thing again. We'll name this one desk cutout. Cool, save it there. I always like to double check because I have an issue with these things not working, so there we go. All right, and now we're finally ready for some OBS. Future me, I realized I messed up when I recorded the OBS thing and it's a black screen. So we're going to do it again. Let's minimize editing the video that you're going to watch and let's go ahead and bring up OBS. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to create a scene. Let's name it scene 2 for me. That's fine. And I will put in a, what's it called? A monitor capture. If I could find it, there we go. Monitor capture real quick. And the reason I'm going to add a monitor capture is for you to see what the heck I'm doing. That's the last time I did it. All right, now, once we have the monitor capture, the first thing we want to do is we're going to take this and we're going to add a media source. So go ahead and click media source and you're going to make it whatever you want. This is going to be desk YouTube for me, create, and then we're going to browse through here and we're going to pick up the desk scene, which is right there, and we're going to check the loop. All right, oops, I can't click OK when it's too low. Cool. Now on our screen, as you can see, there she is. If I was doing this for real, I would pull it for the correct size, but in the interest of me not having to make this a third time by messing up, I'm going to leave it a little smaller so you can see what I'm doing down here at the bottom. All right, so we're going to leave that like that. Now, the next thing we're going to need is the desk. So come in here and click on image, which you can't see because it's already in the way. So let's just drag this over here for a second. We'll do it all a little ghetto. Click on image. And the image we're going to want is going to be desk cutout for me. You can name it whatever you please. And we're going to go in that, browse, and we're going to find out wherever we save that at. And for me, here it is, right? I'm going to click OK, and there it is, right? So now we have to align these two things. So for me, I'm going to click in this corner. I'm going to align that there. And look at, they're already aligned because that's the size they come in at. Now, I'm going to show you how to make it full screen and hope it shows up correctly, right? So let's say I want this desk here to be full screen. I'm just going to click and drag and still it snaps down to the full size, right? Now, this is the wrong size. And how do you line them up? You're going to do the same thing because they're made on the same resolution. And that's it. Now no one will be able to tell these are two different layers. And the last piece of the puzzle is to add yourself in between them. So what I'm going to do is, since I have a monitor capture, hey, I thought this one through. Let me turn these off. Hello. We're going to go Lens Studio here. And I am going to get my avatar. We made a video about an avatar already, so I don't think you guys need to know how to do that. So let me just go ahead and bring them up real quick here. All right, cool. There's my avatar. She's working. She looks beautiful. If you guys want to know how to make this, that's a totally different video, but I think most of you have seen it at this point. So let's go ahead and pull him into our Twitch scene. Let me switch this over, put this over here. I'm going to pull my OBS to my main menu here. All right, so I'll make this small so you guys can see what's going on. Let's go scene 2 real quick, and we're going to add our window capture, our rat. Let's see how this is going to load in. If it's going to be polite, it's not. That's fine. We can fix this real quick. I don't ever use it, so I just showed you guys it. I actually don't stream with us, so no big deal. We'll just make him kind of like that. How's he look? He looks okay. Other than eyes are a little jacked up, but you get the premise. Okay, so now let me turn it all on. If we turn it all on here, the only thing we have to do is put my rat capture between the two layers. So what I mean when I say that is turn it all back off so you can see how I moved him between this and that. That's it. Okay. So now when I bring it back on, I'm going to bring it up. I just, don't drag your actual one. Grab your little rat and I'm going to drag him right where he goes, which for me is probably about right there. What's going on, guys? Welcome to so that's pretty much it. Now, in interest to show you guys some additional things, let's close some of this, right? So you guys very well may want something like this. I don't use this scene, but like videos in the background. And the way you do this is by adding green screens. So let's go back to our scene 2 here. I'm going to turn this. How can I show it? I'll have to show it to you kind of in waves here. So what we're going to do to add those videos is you're going to go into add and you're going to go to a media source again, and we're going to just create media source, browse, and you can pick whatever video you want. I'm just going to pick this, I guess. I don't even know what it is. The big guy walking. Perfect. That'll work. Let's make it a little smaller so it's not dominating my whole screen here, right? And now I'm going to turn everything back on. And in order to get it where I want it to go, it's going to be my bottommost layer. And what I mean by bottommost layer, let me turn this all off so you can see what I mean. This is already getting annoying. Is this right here is the video I'm using. So I have it underneath everything. All right. And all you're going to do is move it to where you want it to be. So if I start turning this stuff on, I'm sorry, I forgot an important step that I need to tell you about. Just pause everything. Your actual background right here, right click it, filters, add filter, chroma key. Yes, it'll default to green. We need that on the background because that'll make it so the 3 TV screens are now see-through. Perfect. So now whatever you put behind it, which I'm going to turn on right now, will show up behind it. And all you're going to do now is move it. Oops, wrong one. You're just going to move it around to where you want, so it's sitting in the position you want it to sit in. If I wanted it to take up all 3, I could just make it big enough to take up all 3, like so, and that would look pretty cool, I guess, in its own way. And I could just be sitting here like this, talking to you guys, yeah, crazy action, blah blah blah, right? And that's pretty much the whole equation. If you wanted to take up one and use it for 3 different things, you could simply just pull it down, make it small, and move it to wherever you want it to be. Maybe I want it over here on just this monitor, and the other ones will be like my desktop. So let's say I want the middle one to be my desktop monitor situation. Let's pull this down because that's actually what you're seeing. And let's just say OBS is right there, right? And you just drag it to fit in the space. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Hopefully the OBS part made sense because it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of a weird situation to show you at the same time, but whatever. I hope you guys like this. Hope you figured it out. If you have any questions, as always, I'll be in the comments helping step by step. And yeah, subscribe if it helps you. In the next video, if you guys want, I'll do a super in-depth one. So it's like totally custom, but tell me you want that below so I don't waste hours of my life. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.